महाहते हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। ॐ नमो हिरण्यवाहवे हिरण्यवर्णाय हिरण्यरूपाय हिरण्यपतये अम्बिकापतये उमापतये पशुपतये नमो नमः। सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। ईशानः सर्वविद्यानां ईश्वरः सर्वभूतानां ब्रह्माधिपति ब्रह्मणोऽधिपति ब्रह्मा शिवो मे अस्तु सदा शिवो। तत्पुरुषाय विद्महे वाग्विशुद्धाय धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। महादेवाय विद्महे रुद्रमूर्तये धीमहि तन्नः शिवः प्रचोदयात्। नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमस्ते अस्तु भगवन् विश्वेश्वराय महादेवाय त्र्यम्बकाय त्रिपुरान्तकाय त्रिकाग्निकालाय कालाग्निरुद्राय नीलकण्ठाय मृत्युञ्जयाय सर्वेश्वराय सदाशिवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। श्रीमन्महादेवाय नमः। शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति।
All right, y'all. Good evening. How y'all doing? I had to get rid of the person proclaiming to be a reptilian in the chat. If you're a reptilian, you're not welcome in this chat. Okay? What's up, Guided Light 89? I had to talk about this because I just had a run-in with reptilians this evening. And I'm just going to keep it real with you. I am so sick and tired. If they are not able to mind control you, then they try to play mind games with you. And I am really, really irritated and sick and tired with them controlling the minds of others, controlling the minds of humans, and then coming to us and trying to make us feel guilt for what they are doing. So this is High Priestess Jamila. And I want to come and have a serious discussion with y'all about this because this is serious. And the last time I exposed reptilians on one of my other channels, they actually were able to flag down that other channel, but it was because I think I was, sort of losing it and going off on this person or whatever, who is not actually a person, but it's a reptilian. And I think that what we have done as a society, we have romanticized the relationship between humans and reptilians. So I want to talk about this today. And I think reptilians probably showed up on this planet around the year, probably in about the year 2000s. I don't believe that they've been around forever, because if you've noticed, the planet and people on this planet changed quite a bit. And I've been knowing that these types of people have existed since I was a baby. The only difference is that when I say something, they don't take it seriously. It has to be either a white man that says it, or either an Asian man, or either a man. But when I say something, they don't take it seriously. But I'm sick and tired of it. And the reason why I want to speak out about this is because there is a known reptilian who has been able to control the minds of an entire group of people for at least the past 4 years. And this person is losing their grip on these people, and this person is freaking out. And, it's just really sad when you see them go down, because a reptilian is going to need you. They need you in order to survive. They need your energy. They need you in order to survive. And it's very, very difficult to break, those people that have been afflicted by them away from them. Okay, because reptilians do practice mind control on humans, which goes far beyond human willpower. Okay, now the question is, are reptilians and their mind control above Magick? The answer is no. The answer is no. And let me just tell y'all something. This is a very serious situation. Even to talk about reptilians as if they are human is a mistake. You are to never talk to them as if they are human beings, because they're not. Mary, more than likely that is what is draining your energy. Absolutely. So reptilians are in fact capable of mind control. And mind control is very, very different than magic. It's and I've noticed this about them. Magic is miracles. Magic is what we have been using to put things back into balance and into their place. Okay. I have seen these particular demons and I have seen the way they are able to control minds of people. This is where a majority of the crap that is going on this earth, because they are very, very, very into bestiality, homosexuality, and pedophilia. They are very, very, very into that. Okay. And everything. See, here's the thing about a reptilian. A reptilian does not have the desire to lay with you. A reptilian does not have the desire to merge their energy with you, just like a human would be, a normal human. They only have the desire to control you. That's it. If they can't control you, they're not happy. And these people, please believe, they do not experience normal human emotion. So I realize that this is probably a little bit out of the scope of what I've been dealing with. But to be honest with you, Mary, I deal with them all the time, in particular when I'm doing spiritual work for people. And I can tell because there's a certain energy that they bring in. But I firmly believe that a lot of our deities absolutely protect us from these beings. Okay. And yes, I do believe that if they are able to mind control a person to a certain degree, that they are able to replace human beings. Okay. Mind control by reptilians. Is it fact or fiction? It is absolutely fact. Close to 40% of Americans are under varying degrees of reptilian dark matter pulsar influence or mind dampening, as it's referred to as. The reptilians are able to reach humans, firing beams of high density collected from a dark pulsar, energy particles, invisible to human sight, an electromagnetic spectrum, also known as dark matter, directly into the brains of their victims. Dampening works by influencing the electromagnetic energy within the neurons of the human brain, enabling various levels of mind control. Now, I believe that it's more than 40%. I believe that it's global. Okay. Who do the reptilians target for mind dampening? Reptilians like to target individuals with weak willed, weak minds, who are easily persuaded and morally flexible. While they target individuals specifically with higher intensity dampening, they have a blanket protocol for certain individuals. The reptilians choose humans based on their status in society, their susceptibility to mind control, mental weakness, loose morals, and influence over others. While a Wall Street banker would be of higher priority and receive a larger dose of dark matter pulsar waves, the slow, steady stream would still make its way to unemployed internet trolls throughout the world, seeing as humans can't see or detect dark matter. The reptilians can emit particles from a myriad of clandestine devices wherever, whenever they see fit. That means you, your friends, neighbors, and loved ones all may be influenced by varying degrees by reptilian mind control. Now, let's stop right here. Are they able to mind control everybody? Only to a certain degree. I've actually, unfortunately, been under their reptilian influence before. Okay. They've really been hitting me up a lot. The only difference is that I can actually see these invisible particles. So that's why yesterday I was working big time to clear that stuff out of my house because you could just feel it. See, empaths are a threat to them, a huge threat. Okay. They are a huge threat to reptilians, and we've got to start talking about this because they can make human beings do some pretty awful things. They can make them do awful things, or they can make them say awful things. And I actually just confronted some reptilians that have been placing quite a few because for some reason melanated people are extremely susceptible, especially men. Okay. And they usually come in a form of, I guess, what's supposed to be a beautiful woman, right? But to a reptilian, any woman can be beautiful. They can make themselves look beautiful to anybody. So people will think that they're beautiful or attractive even when they are not. Now, this is different from two human beings that link up that may fall in love with each other. These people are in, and they're not people, they are inhuman. They are not like us. They are nothing like us. And I'm tired of them trying to pretend to be anything like us. So, what's up, Jay Lawrence? I am tired of them doing this to us. And you know what? I'm going to tell you something. They're losing control. Let me tell you what was the first sign of reptilians losing their control over humans: the recent bans on abortion. The recent bans on abortion is our first sign of this. Okay. Now, also the other thing is absolutely the war that's going on when it comes to veganism. If you are vegan, they can take over your mind and your body even easier. This is the reason why a lot of vegans their hair will fall out, they'll lose their period, they'll turn pale, they'll obviously look sick, and they won't even have any control over themselves. So I believe that reptilians are responsible for a lot of the veganism that is going on. Okay. Now, are they above Magick? No, they're not, because there's one in particular. There's a group. She's got a whole group behind her. And she's losing control over a group of people, and she's freaking out. But it was always meant for them to lose their control. I do believe that there have been a lot of people during your Magick, but you've got to be very, very specific in your Magick against them. Okay. You have to know that you're dealing with reptilian mind control, and you have to release your family. A lot of us, our family members, are under the direct influence of the reptilian alliance. And a lot of us will pass it off as narcissism, sociopathism. But this is not exactly what that is, okay? There's a higher reason for that. And it is these beings that are on this planet. Now, when they can no longer feed off of our energy, they can't exist at all. Okay? I'm going to get to y'all chats in a minute, okay? Because I want to get this out because this is very important. Because whenever you speak about a reptilian like they are human, you're wasting your time, because all they understand is gaslighting. All they understand is scapegoating. They try to reach an area of your brain that you've surpassed from the age of 5 years old. This is why they attack children. If a reptilian being is over your family, you can absolutely banish it. Now, the problem is that what it will do is it will move on to another family. It'll keep going from family to family to family. And I know this for a fact because every single body in my life, even people that have never met this one specific person, they have all been affected. I was the only oddball out. So some of y'all might even be that way. And it's very perplexing because you're sitting around and you're looking and you're like, what is going on? And you're wondering, why is it so weird? Now, the Christians will blame it on witchcraft, but witchcraft is the same thing that Jesus did. He turned water into wine. And didn't Jesus also feed a bunch of people with magic, if I'm not mistaken? Okay. They are not beyond or above magic. Now, everybody has their choice if they don't want to see the truth about them. Everybody has a choice if they want to be associated with them. And I have been trying to get certain people that I know away from them. It's very, very difficult to go to somebody and say, hey, you know, you need to quit dealing with this person because this person is a reptilian. People are going to think that you're crazy. People are going to say that you're crazy. But it's not crazy because everybody knows that they exist. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. They're losing their control and their mind control over humans. The way that we can tell is because of the recent abortion bans. Reptilians eat the aborted remains. They do. They eat it. Okay. Not only do they eat it, but they follow the mother around and feed off of her pain because no woman actually wants to do that to her unborn child. So women will carry guilt. They love guilt. They love to feed off of guilt, which is why they're always guilt tripping. But the problem is that they've got folks under mind control to do the stupid stuff that they want them to do. And they're so desperate that literally a lot of them, they can only feed online. Now we see the news. We see that they feed in real life. They do. They feed. But when you are a family and when you are a mother that knows about them, you know what they're up to, and you have an intent to protect your children, then they can't do anything. But they feed off of the guilt of humans. They've driven more people to suicide than you can even believe. Zabel said, my mother had 7 abortions to satisfy the Freemasons, reptilians. I can tell y'all something. I am a woman and I am a mother of 5, which includes 1 angel baby and 1 grandbaby. And where there is a will and where there is willpower, there will always be a way. If somebody isn't an actual reptilian but was underneath reptilian mind control, they're going to be very confused. A lot of them won't even have a memory. I remember years ago, my family would start attacking me, and I forgive them. I forgive my mother. I forgive my father. I forgive everybody. Seriously. Because let me tell you something. My family was doing so much stuff to me. And then when I went back and asked them about it, they literally, and I don't necessarily think that they were pretending, they wouldn't have any memory of the things that they do. So a lot of our narcissistic people are not actual narcissists. These people are being affected by reptilian mind control. And we've just got to start talking about it. We've got to start talking about it, and we have to start implementing it into our magic and asking the spirit guides and the ascended masters, because our the orishas, a lot of the gods and the goddesses, those are not reptilians. They're not. Reptilians would like for you to believe this, but that's actually not the truth. Okay? Yesterday, they were absolutely trying to drain the fuck out of me. I had to get up. I had to get up and drink coffee. I don't never have to drink coffee. I don't never, ever, ever have to drink caffeine to have energy. And so that's why yesterday I was in a frenzy. I was on a frenzy, y'all. I was saging the house. I saged the house yesterday. I burned the camphor. Y'all saw the ritual that I did outside. Because they literally do not have to be in front of you to feed off of you. They don't. They can create a situation, and what they do is they feed off of the fake and the false and the ego. See, I've learned to let go of my ego, because that's the main thing that they feed off of. What comes along with an ego? Despair, anger, jealousy. This is the reason why there's a specific reptilian. I've actually exposed her previously for being a reptilian, and she flagged me down. There's a specific reptilian that tries to spark jealousy. For some reason, jealousy is something that they like to feed off of, even though they're not the object of anybody's jealousy. But this is some of the mind games that they play. So, for example, I've been getting a lot of practice with this guy that I have been dating, and there's a reptilian that's just all over him, right? And so she shows up all over the place trying to make me jealous because she feeds off of that. You can't go and explain this to the ordinary man unless now eventually you're going to have to say to him, hey, listen, you're going to have to show me that you're human. Otherwise, I'm going to think you just like him. Mm-hmm. Reptilians are not above magic. They can be controlled by magic themselves. So when they came down here to this planet, they thought that we were weak. In fact, they probably were the ones that twisted a lot of the religions and began to control us with religion. Okay? Now, that's not to say that a lot of the religious, that's not to say that a lot of the religious gods are fake. Because if you even read the Bible, it exposes reptilians all through it. Okay? So a lot of our deities are not the problem. The problem is them. They don't belong on this planet. And when they realize that they are not able to feed off of certain bloodlines, then they will stop. This is one of the main things that I have seen with these beings. Okay? They are not above magic. In fact, like I said, I've got one. Boy, she just holding on to my bloodline. She done talked about my children. She done talked about my mother, my father, my grandbabies, my unborn babies that I ain't even had yet. Because some of y'all come from a bloodline that is very rich in energy. So they feed off of our energy. Now, let me tell you something. If you know that you are dealing with a reptilian male or female, you cannot attack them with normal things that are going to hurt somebody, because they're never going to go anywhere if you attack them with normal things that are going to hurt a normal human. You have to tell them you are a reptilian, and you have to release the control that you have over my family and my loved ones. Now, I am a practitioner that has a lot of experience with them. They follow me around the internet. And the sad part about it is that some of your family members have been killed, cloned, and replaced, or either just put under possession. So they're not above magic, though. Human beings are very powerful. In particular, see, I was born in 1977, okay, when I incarnated into this life. There was a lot of us that were born to deal with these people. We were put on this planet to deal with them. And we were put on this planet to expose it and to do something about it. You got to keep thinking willpower over control. Okay? And they mess with me a lot, y'all. I went outside today and my license plates was missing off of my car. This is not the normal behavior of a human being. It's not. A normal human being is not going to purposely take the plates off of your car. That's not what normal human beings do. But that's the kind of stuff that they do. Yeah, my license plates were stolen off of my vehicle. So I've got to go up to the DMV and get new plates for my car. So needless to say, I will be moving. And you have to be very, very specific in your magic against them. Because if you don't want them to see you, if you want to hide from them, you just have to ask the spirits to hide you from them. Yeah, it is a mess. It is. They're very spiteful. Yeah, I am moving out very, very soon. I will be moving out of this house. Yeah. These are some of the most diabolical, disgusting, treacherous beings that have ever been allowed on this planet. And when they can no longer feed off of the human population, then they will leave. Now, right now, they've been over here in Georgia doing the most. Do y'all understand me? They've been over here in Georgia doing the most. Georgia and in the southern states. This was one of the reasons why I was brought here. I wasn't brought here because of a man. A lot of people like to try to tell you that. No. Okay? I was brought here for a much higher purpose than that. Okay? Which includes a man. But this is something that a lot of witches and spiritualists really, really don't pay attention to. The ones that do, we really, really appreciate them. We really do. Okay. It's really, really bad over here. They're really, really bad over here. And probably because it's close to the water. I believe that reptilians not only have underwater villages, but they also have underground villages and towns and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. You said you're in Charlotte, North Carolina. I believe you, Zybel, because I have a lot of clients from North Carolina. Let me read y'all chats real quick. All right, let me go up. Yes, reptilians, energy harvest siphon for survival because they are not used to the sun like the Venusians. Venusians are Lemurians. I was a target for a reptile. Married him and even procreated with that evil lizard reptilian human hybrid. He is gone because I woke up and he's now in jail. Wow. Kim and Amber Rose are insectilians. Wow. Yeah, I wake in. I've actually heard Flora Brun talk about them too. I didn't really listen to her latest live that she did about the abortion laws, but I'm telling you that this is a good thing that this is happening. So the first thing that people do is they get scared. The first thing, especially that women do, is they get scared. I actually had a reptilian that was just in my chat room coming back from different troll accounts that was literally trying to make me feel bad for having children. But what they do, and I'm gonna tell y'all something. Years ago, when I was in my 20s, my eyes was not open to this world and what was going on in it. And I didn't realize that my ex was under reptilian mind control. I didn't realize it because when he walked away from me, he said, I'm never going to take care of those children. Reptilians will control the minds of men and women and then come back to the woman and try to make me feel bad for what he did or didn't do. Okay, for what he did or didn't do, and then feed off of that energy is what they do. They feed off of all energy. That's why they're here. If you see a reptilian and see, I'm sorry, and I've heard people trying to romanticize our relationship with reptilians, but there's nothing romantic about it. Okay. And none of us have to bow down to their reptilian alliance. None of us have to. This is what spirit is telling me right now. We have to fight them. Many of them are in the spirit realm, and many of them are outside the spirit realm. No, it's not about abortion rights over the womb. That has nothing to do with why abortion is being banned. Abortion is being banned because it is amoral. It is immoral to kill the life of an unborn child. That is why abortion is being banned. It has nothing to do with somebody trying to take rights. If they don't ban abortion, we are in trouble because that is mainly what they feed off of, is what I am telling you. They feed off of those aborted fetuses. They feed off of um what is that thing that comes out after you have a baby? Your afterbirth, the placenta. They feed off of the placenta. They feed off of all of that. Okay. And Zybel, you're right. Tommy Sotomayor is absolutely under Reptilian MK Ultra. He is. He's absolutely under it. Okay, Mary asks, can your coworkers have reptilian energy? Because my clients drain me when I'm on my spiritual path. When I would attempt to fast, they would see my spiritual essence and attack me. Co-workers can absolutely have reptilian energy. In fact, this was one of the reasons why I was not able to work a regular job, because my spirits, literally, guys, the last job that I worked at, there was a reptilian man. He was a black man. This man was talking to me about ways that I could kill myself. So spirit completely and totally took that out of my life. Okay, and led me to my spiritual path. If your clients are draining you, you've got to learn how to put up your shield with them. Fasting makes you more susceptible. Fasting makes you more susceptible to reptilian mind control. Because when you're fasting, your body is not getting any nutrients, and neither is your brain. So fasting does not help. It's all about the mind. It starts with your mind. Okay? Zybel, I agree. Freemasons are reptilian affiliated. So are a lot of the churches. Are reptilian affiliated. In fact, their recent attack on me by stealing my license plates was to try to set me back, because they want me at this location very, very badly. And a lot of times, guys, when it comes to sex with a reptilian, they're not looking for sex. You know how normal humans have they want sex. No, it's normal for you to want to have sex. I had a reptilian a few hours ago tell me that wanting to have a normal sexual relationship with a man was sexual deviancy. And for some reason, they think that humans are going to fall for this, and it's because a lot of human beings do fall for it. Mary, you need to come and see me then if they're attacking you when you're doing something spiritual. Because, hold on, guys, because I'm also getting some stuff out of my oven. They will attack you when you're trying to get in touch with your spirit guides for guidance. They will also mask themselves as certain spirit guides. If a spirit guide tells you, or if something tells you to harm yourself or those around you, that is not your normal spirit guides, because your normal spirits are not going to tell you to do harm to yourself or others. Okay? So if you're picking up on that kind of energy, or if you're picking up on those types of thought patterns, you've got to be able to decipher those thought patterns from your own. Okay? So yes, they will do that. Hold on, let me look at the rest of y'all chats. Mary says, I work with people who have mental problems, and work would be okay for me until I attempted to fast or do anything spiritual. During those times, my clients would drain me and act a fool during that time. They would get high, anxious during that time, and attention seeking. I could literally feel them draining me and slowly killing me. It would get so bad that I would stop fasting or doing my spiritual work because whatever was on them was kicking my ass. Mary, fasting is not the way to go. Fasting is not the way to go. Y'all got to stop with the fasting. Who told you that? Was it the Bible? Is that why people are fasting? Why are y'all fasting though? I have burned and killed a demon that my narc ex sent me. I read Arabic scriptures on that house, and they actually moved out. You know what? Believe it or not, for some reason, there are a lot of hymns and mantras that are Arabic. And like for some reason, when you play those Arabic mantras, wipes them out so quickly. They can't stand that. My magic is only powerful if I'm eating healthy. I don't know why, but I can't do anything magical if I'm not eating healthy. Huh. Okay, I'm getting down to the bottom of you guys' messages. Yeah, I had them. You know what they do? They run around here and they control the minds of humans, and they set up this little stupid stuff that they do, which is absolutely ridiculous. A 5-year-old can see what they're doing. A 5-year-old can see what they're doing. Okay. And then what they'll do is they'll come back and they'll say, oh, this happened and that happened. And they're trying to make you feel bad for what they are doing. Yeah, we do not consent nor comply to the negative alien agenda on any energy level. I don't blame you. You fast because you're constipated. Okay, Mary, yeah, contact me because I want to talk to more people. And because to be honest with you, and it's already happening behind the scenes. This is something that they don't want. This is already happening behind the scenes. This is already happening. Like I said, a lot of y'all need to quit being scared about the new laws that they are enacting, because that actually places them at a disadvantage. The fact that they're banning abortions. Okay, you said you fast only when you're desperate. Okay. I don't fast at all. If I'm stressed out by them, you know what? I've actually felt their energy to where they don't want you to eat much. And believe it or not, they're able to feed off of your heart chakra more when you don't eat. And they're also able to feed off of your solar plexus. Y'all should be eating several small meals per day. You should never be fasting ever. And they'll try to come to you because you fluff up a little bit. I think I wear like a 16 or 18. They came to me and said I was fat. And the reason why is because they're able to feed off of your energy force better. If your magic is only good when you are in a fasting state, there's a problem. Because I can promise you that if you don't get food and nourishment in your body, you can die. That can kill you because you're losing all your vitamins, and especially if you're a woman. Okay, people fast to connect with the divine, starve the body to feed the soul. The intention is to purify spiritually. Okay, this is what I want to say about that, guys. You don't need to fast to purify yourself spiritually. That was a lie. Okay, I know that a lot of y'all have went to see these bad gurus. That is not going to make you connect with the divine. That's going to bring you closer to them. That's all that it does. because when you're starving, your body is meant to be nourished. When your mother gave birth to you, and whether or not she gave you a bottle with some formula or her breast milk, your mother had to feed you with her breast every hour or two. It's called cluster feeding. Okay, guys, it's funny that y'all would come in here talking about fasting. Fasting is not the way to go when it comes to spiritually. I hear people saying that a lot. Okay. And I do spiritual work for people all day and every single day. If I fasted every single time, or if I didn't eat nothing, I wouldn't have no energy. So food gives you energy. So the people that told you to fast to connect with the divine, that's not your spirit guides. Your spirit guides. Now, if you're, now listen, the only time that you should be fasting is if you're sick. When people are sick, they tend to not be able to eat. See, with me, I never fast. And here's my whole thing about it. They are constantly trying to put these illnesses in your mind so that you won't eat, so that you will be afraid. This is the biggest way that they got to us, was through the food. You get more energy when you're fasting. Okay, well, I guess it would have to. Yeah, Zybel, the more fat that you have on your body, the more psychic protection, believe it or not. Nobody is supposed to, like, you got to be careful with, you got to be careful with that. Be careful with that. A lot of people will think that they're fat and they're not. You know how many people that I've seen with normal bodies and they're saying that they're fat? So that's one of the things that they did. And I think they did that through the images that we saw on TV, which is why people like Melissa McCarthy. Okay, this is why they brought her out. People like her, to show you that it's okay for you to have some meat on your bones, even though she was a lot more overweight than she was now. But there is actually a very, very happy medium that your body will give you. Your body will let you know. Okay, and just recently I began to eat more healthy, which means that I began to eat more organ meats and squash and things of that nature. And so I've been dropping weight because I had a little bit too much fat on my body. But you don't ever want to you don't ever want to be skinny. Okay, now there are some people, their family, their bloodline, their DNA, it'll make you naturally skinny. The women in my family were very hefty. Okay, they were hefty women. They were not skinny women. So I'm used to seeing women with meat on their bones, and I'm not used to seeing women starving themselves at all. Yeah, yeah. So for me, I'm not gonna ever lose a bunch of weight and get down to the 130s or 140s. I'm a 41-year-old woman. I'm good with the way that my body looks. I don't mind being plus size. So, as long as you're not too heavy. Because yeah, Adele and Monique, they were pretty big, but they've gotten down to a healthier weight. And there's nothing wrong with having a body that has body fat on it. It's nothing wrong with that. Okay. But because we're kind of getting off the subject a little bit. You have to ask it to release the hold that it has on your family, or not ask it, tell it. Don't ask it, tell it. You can ask your spirits to help you with that situation, but they are all over the place. And you know what? I've got one, this thing, she feeds off of me no matter who she got to do it through. Anybody that's anywhere near me, she gonna go and be right up in their face. Whether or not it's my mother, my children, she contacts my children, she's a reptilian. I said it years ago about her, and somebody else had said it. Yesterday, y'all, I think the day before yesterday, Sunday, I literally slept all day. All day. And that can sometimes happen when it comes to spiritual work. But it was because of a specific working that I was doing for a client that's dealing with reptilians as well. So when you get those kind of clients, because a lot of your clients are dealing with reptiles or reptilians, they are. A lot of your clients are dealing with that. They are not above magic, though. They're not. Okay. And they are not above practitioners. This is one of the reasons why they hate witches. This is one of the reasons why they hate warlocks. This is one of the reasons why they hate it when you use your own power. They are not at all. At all. They'll try to say, oh, you can't touch me. Well, let me tell you something. It's been one. And they will, some of the lower level ones will take advantage of people that are considered, and people have got to start understanding what these people are and to stop dealing with them. And literally, they don't let go. They calling and bothering you and showing up in social media all the time. And my bloodline, they really do love my bloodline. They do. They love it. Yeah, they do. They trick us into subliminal contracts. You're right about that. But they're not above magic. They're not. And that's what I wanted. That was the point that I wanted to get across today. Is that they're not above it. In fact, if people would stop feeding them, which I've seen people do it. There's this one reptilian. She is on here and she is thirsty for energy constantly because she's very, very overweight. So she's one of the more greedy reptilians. And literally, she's constantly roaming around the internet trying to set up different ways for people to validate her. I speak to them all the time. I speak to them all the time. There's one that literally, she bothers me all the time. There's one of them on here that's claiming to be a witch. The demon is inside of her. She speaks for the demon. All the time. I just had a full conversation with him on my Terror Queen Jamila Live channel. They tried to come in and make me feel bad for something that they mind controlled somebody into doing, even though they were responsible for what that person did. Three or four different people with the same pathology. 3 or 4 different people with the same pathology. That ain't no coincidence. So a lot of us thought that the devil was our biggest threat. The devil is not the biggest threat. That's a trick. I don't even believe in the devil. I have no belief in the devil. If you want to describe the devil, I would describe the devil as these people. But the devil in the biblical context, in my opinion, is not the same. Okay? Because the devil gives you a choice. Does the devil not give you a choice? Okay? The devil gives you a choice. Whether or not you want to, believe in the devil or you want to associate with the devil, right? Devil gives you a choice. Reptilians don't give you a choice. This is how they're able to change people. And the way that they choose their victims is based upon you. That's how they choose their victims. Whoever is in your radar, that is who they are going to target, essentially. And until a lot of people realize exactly what it is that we're dealing with, they're going to continue to do whatever they do, to do the things that they do. Let me tell y'all something. Magic has been around since the dawn of time. Okay? Reptilians are new. These are new beings that traveled here. Took them a long time to get here. And once they got here, they got a little too comfortable. Okay? They got way too comfortable, is what they did. So when they start to lose control over one victim, they have to go to the next. And you have to be extremely patient with the people that are being afflicted by them. And you have to say to them, don't deal with this person because they are not human. Okay? And if a person insists on being associated with them, then you have to disassociate yourself from that person, don't you? You don't have no choice, do you? Because you know that what that entity is doing is just feeding. Feeding off your throat chakra, feeding off your third eye chakra, feeding off your solar plexus chakra, your sacral, all of that, because they don't experience life the way that we experience it. But they're not even trying to experience life. They're just trying to experience the energy. So just to let you guys know, I am very reptilian friendly. If you guys need any help with that, I'm always here because I know that they exist. And a lot of people would like to say that it's a conspiracy theory. It ain't no conspiracy theory. These people are actually predators and they are out there. And they like to go to the misfits. They like to deal with the people that are lonely. They like to deal with the outcasts. They're very much attracted to certain types of people that they can take advantage of. Okay. Jay Lawrence said, what's with the tummy tuck and butt lift? You mean as far as like with people all of a sudden getting a lot of them? I've noticed that a lot of them have been, yeah. That's cool, Awe. I'll definitely be here. And for me, I can tell there's certain symptoms of dealing with a reptile. Now, that doesn't mean that your family members are reptilian. That just means that this is why they show up as soon as you get into a new relationship. And all of a sudden, a person starts acting weird. Well, what's wrong with you? Why are you doing that? Why do people all of a sudden start acting funny to where they change and they change on you? And you wondering what is going on? Mm-hmm. You're right, Zabel. They used to have missing children on milk cartons and they don't have that anymore. But they do still post missing kids in certain department stores, in particular in Walmart. Walmart has a big wall of missing children. All the ones that I've went in. Now I haven't paid attention in these Walmarts in Georgia, but I noticed that the Walmarts in Kansas and the Walmarts in Missouri, they always had that. Maybe perhaps that's the reason why they attack Walmart so much. Maybe that's why. Okay, I don't know. But what I will tell you is that they're here and they ain't playing around when it comes to your energy, and they will cause certain illnesses and sicknesses to you. They will. And guys, I'm not even joking with you when I tell you I had a very profound spiritual experience involving Jesus. Jesus came to me on Saturday night and begged, said, let me heal you. Because all of a sudden I just started feeling sick. All of a sudden. So something's up with that. And as soon as I asked, as soon as I said, okay, Jesus, you can heal me, Jesus just wanted to heal me. And as soon as I said, go ahead, I began to heal. Um, you know what? Any kind of candle can shield you from reptilians. I don't have any reptilian shield candles. Probably the black and the purple ones, very dark colors, red colors. Okay. Red, black, purple, white are some of the primary colors, and maybe even orange that is going to be able to shield you. But it's not even about shielding, it's literally about forcing them out of your lives and disconnecting them from your family and your bloodline. It's all about that. Okay. But there's a lot of them that can be afflicted or affected by these beings, and they won't even know it. And you have to understand, when you start doing evil stuff, when you start, participating in evil, when you can't control your mouth, when you can't control the things that you say, when you're sitting up there harming and hurting the people that you love because of them. Okay, when you start to do stuff like that, these should be some of the signs that this is what's happening. And this is where a lot of people are very spiritually unlearned on that. They have no idea. And you know what? I've actually had them blatantly in my face. They are just impossible. They are impossible people, is what they are. If somebody, if it's a lose-lose situation, if it's a reptilian, you can tell because they will have no actual understanding of the human concept or the human construct. Like I said, I just had reptilians in my chat room trying to make me feel bad for having a baby, trying to make me feel bad for giving birth to my children. My cat kept getting on my countertop because my cat is spoiled. She don't really like the dry food. She wants the wet food. And she'll bug me all day for the wet food in the can. Okay. And what she kept doing was jumping up on the countertop, and nobody wants a cat on their counter. Who lets a cat get up on their countertop and their tables and stuff? Don't nobody do that. The cat just came out of the litter box. This cat steps in boo boo and pee pee, and the reptilian came in the chat room and said, "Don't take it out on the animals," because I told the cat to get off of my countertop. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And I'm permanently banishing these people from my life. I don't want them around me no more. I don't want nothing to do with them ever again. They disguise themselves as both white and black people. They can be of any race. If it's a reptilian, it's going to affect any race. And I believe that They do a lot on a daily basis, and I think that that's what has a lot to do with the pollen count over here, because when the pollen count is really high, you can have certain mental and physical changes from the pollen count being so high. Hold on a minute, y'all. When they realize that they can't feed off of certain bloodlines anymore, okay? And the sad part about it is that if you are a bloodline that they are attracted to, a lot of times the people that are in your bloodline that have maybe made some kind of deal with these demons will try to push them off on you. Because when you get rid of them and you say, listen, and see, I'm the high priestess of the family, is what I am. Okay? So I feel like that is one of the things that I'm doing when I'm removing a generational hex. I've only just began to get stronger, because spirit basically forced me into this, literally, without me really having a whole lot of knowledge. Okay. And so I'm just to a point where I can overcome their energy, is the point that I'm at. It's to the point where, like, you can tell when you got your armor up, when the normal things that they do and they say to you does not affect you, okay, in a way to where, because they'll say all sorts of things. They even use our languages against us. They didn't speak our language when they got here. They were speaking reptilian language. And there's no, listen, a lot of people will say, well, is there reptilian in you? No, no. I don't have a lot of reptilian in my blood. Okay, I don't. And, a lot of us, even though we may even come from a hybrided family, we're still not susceptible to that. So you literally have to be the savior for your families, is what you have to do. You said that you were thinking about conjuring Dr. Sabi, but your pendulum said no. Well, a pendulum are the cards, those are extensions of your inner um, intuition. Okay, but at the end of the day, those are just tools. If it's something that you feel in your heart that you must do, Mary, then you do it. But he may have passed on or moved on to something else. You never know. I would say the best thing to do would be to contact your ancestors, because they know about it. They know about it. And they've been sending me a lot of information about this. And I've been watching. Them. There's this one, you can tell she's a reptilian. They think she's just thirsty. Look at her. She's just thirsty. Look at her. She just won't leave us alone, will she? She thirsty. She in love with me, y'all. She in love with me. No, that ain't no human being. That's not the way a human being behaves. If another human tells you, leave it alone, leave me alone, I banish you, I don't want you around, it's only a reptilian predator that's going to continue to stalk and harass you. And it's only been through ignorance that this thing is even still around. Because if this person didn't have that energy to feed off of, then it wouldn't even still be here harassing people. And a lot of the reptilians, you know how you can, what's one of your first clues that it's a reptilian, especially if you're a Black person, they'll say inflammatory things about the Black struggle. even black people like Tommy Sotomayor. Okay? They'll say inflammatory things like this one today. It was supposed to be a roast and gag, and this person was talking about Harriet Tubman. What does that tell you? And when you know better, you'll do better. When you know better, you'll do better. And it'll pretend that it has normal human emotions. Oh, I'm lonely. Oh, I'm sad. Don't you want to talk to me? No, it's not lonely and it's not sad. Stop allowing them to play on your human emotions. So what ends up happening is that actual human beings can't even get those emotions, including your children, because you're giving all your emotions to this freaking reptilian. And I believe that some of these people are not just reptilian under reptilian mind control. I believe some of these folks are actual reptiles. Okay, I believe that it's the actual reptilian that's doing it. And you notice how sometimes they'll go off camera. Now, I'm not on camera right now because I don't have no makeup on. Okay, and I'm kind of, you know, but you can tell when they hiding behind the camera. Mary, I believe that Tommy Sotomayor is actually waking up, though. I believe he's waking up. I believe that a lot more people are going to be woke by the end of this year. Okay, so they said it was the pagans. They said it was the Wiccans. They said that it was the Christians. Listen, Christians ain't got nothing on these people. They use certain religions, like this one person, she just says anything. Oh, I was crowned under Oshun. I was this and that. She ain't crowned under no Oshun. It lies. It lies so that it can relate to you, so that you can think that that's what it is, but it's not. And this is the one thing that I can tell you. See, with me, I don't show it no mercy. And a lot of people will show it feelings and emotions, and I don't show them things no emotion because I know exactly what it was. And this person will actually try to make me look like I'm a bad person. Oh, she's lower vibration and she's this and that. No, I just know what you are. So you can't show pity for them. Once you know what they're up to, why would you show pity and feel sorry for it? It's preying on your human emotion. So I don't show it any love. I show my children love. I show my loved ones love. I show my clients love. I show my audience love. But I don't show this thing directly love. And that's what it's searching for because it feeds off of love. No, you can't be nice to it. Stop being nice to it. When it knows that you're not going to be a fool anymore, then it'll go away and it'll leave you alone. And all of the negative effects that it has had over you and your family will go with it. And they're not a match for Magick. Magick is just as old as this planet, as old as the sun and the moon and the planets that are in our solar system, because they don't come from the same solar system as us. Are you kidding me? These people ain't from Saturn, Uranus, or nothing. They're not from those planets. There is life on those planets that we are not allowed to contact. So when we look at those planets, us as being ignorant human beings, we assume that there's no life on those planets, but there's absolutely life on every last planet that's in our solar system, including the moon and the sun. They just assume that ain't nobody living on the sun, but that is because it is beyond our normal thinking. And see, we don't worry about that because, and those beings that are on the sun and the moon, we're neighbors to them. And they let us know all the time what's going on. Okay? Magic is as old as water, air, fire, and earth. And I practice very powerful elemental magic. You see what I'm saying? So when it comes to those elements, why do you think that they, can't stand the sun? They can't stand the moon. They can't stand the rain. They can't stand nothing. But they sure can stand when they feeding off of them unborn babies and when they feeding off of your family and your energy. Okay? So we got to stop looking at it under how we have been educated because they've been doing a lot of the educating. I remember when I was in school, I'd be so drowsy and sleepy. I'd be like, what in the world? Why am I drowsy and sleepy at school? Y'all wouldn't even believe what's going on behind closed doors. And they'll try to come around to you and make you feel bad and say, oh, well, you didn't do this and you didn't do that. Guys, we're facing an enemy that is weaker than us, because if they were not weaker than us, then why would they need to feed off of us? I've been telling y'all that, and we mistake them for vampires, but yeah, they are absolutely psychic vampires. But I would trust a vampire before I trust a freaking reptilian. Okay? In fact, vampires is pretty much what the reptilians will turn you into. So vampires are essentially it's a human evolution. These people are totally different. Yes, they do have spacecrafts. Yes, they do move in and out of. They move in and out, and they move people in and out. I'd be pissed if somebody that I know and love was snatched up by him, beamed up the Scotty, and you don't never see that person again. What do you think happens? Where do you think all these missing people go? In the sky? That's exactly where they go. Because what they're doing is they are, in fact, leaving this planet. They don't like it here because their bodies are not equipped to deal with this planet. But what they are doing, which is absolutely disgusting, is they are moving people out of this planet onto into, and it's a very long journey. But they have upgraded their technology. Okay, so they're definitely moving humans in and out of this planet. And the reason why, especially when it comes to little girls and women, because they want to take those people to their planet so that they can be slaves and so that they can constantly breed. They did it here, okay, but Mother Earth doesn't accept them anymore. This is why Mother Earth does a lot of the things that she does, because this is her world. That's why they hate women so much. So if you're somebody that's human, you were born human, you had human empathy and thought and emotion, then please believe that if all of a sudden you just started hating women, where do you think that came from? You think that just came out of nowhere? It didn't just come out of nowhere. When they leave this planet, a lot of the sicknesses, diseases, and illnesses that we know and have accepted will go with them, is what I am telling you guys. And a lot of people would be sort of afraid to stand up to them, but I'm not going to be afraid of something that needs me to survive. Why would I need to do that? Obviously, I have more power and more life force in me that beats theirs. By myself, I'm a solitary practitioner. Even though I have spirits and spirit guides and I have folks that's behind me every step of the way, and this is one of the reasons why they target me so much. Okay. And this is the reason why they target you and you and you and you. Because they're testing the boundaries. Okay. They're testing the waters and testing the boundaries to see what they can get away with. You got to understand that a lot of the people that you know and love have already been murdered by them. A lot of them have been murdered. Some of them haven't. Some of them have. You got to test to see what somebody remembers. You see why targeted individuals, when it comes to their family members, if you go and look at a lot of these videos of targeted individuals, they'll say, I want to see what's in your memory. Do you remember when we did this? Do you remember when we did that? And if the person doesn't remember, something's wrong. What's the problem? Somebody that's been knowing you for the longest, why you don't remember my address? Why wouldn't you remember that? That's something that you should have remembered. So as scary as it sounds, if they're after a certain bloodline, the people around you are in danger, because the people that are associated with you could be killed and replaced or either under possession by them. You love your grandma so much, don't you? So, I have had so many people in my life be taken down by these people, taken down, literally. And it hurts because I'm human. To lose somebody that you love is very painful for a human being. This is why God already knows that I can't handle losing any of my children, and all my kids are going to outlive me, because what? Well, put it on, baby. Boil the water, though. There's another pot right there. Go ahead and boil the water. So, guys, you got to understand what we're dealing with these days. And it's very real, and it can be scary. But the one thing that I don't like is how secretive it is and how the average person can't see it. And even if they could see it, they would want to unsee it. They would rather go back into the matrix of not knowing. But I think that when you know, then you do better. You see what I'm saying? When you know, then you'll do better. And there's a lot of people, let's face it, in particular, because I was going to come on here and I was going to talk about blacks in the South earlier. And not just blacks in the South, but I was going to talk about black people that are born with dark skin and how much they hate it, how they automatically see themselves as ugly. And I don't see people like that. So I don't share the opinion that all dark-skinned people are ugly. But a person that hates themselves and hates the color of their skin is going to be more susceptible, because they're not going to accept themselves, and they'll just give their mind, body, and spirit over to these people, is what they'll do, or to these entities. And it's very sad. And they're very, very interested in melanated people. But it's not just melanated people. It's all people. Okay, there's no white person that's any different. Of course, all of us have different DNA. Yes, we do. We're supposed to. White people, Asian people, all of us are different. But that doesn't mean that you're not human, because human beings have existed on this planet since the beginning of time. So all of these people that are walking around looking different, they're supposed to look different. But for some reason, in every race, that there's dark skin Chinese people, dark-skinned Asian people, dark-skinned Arabic people, dark-skinned Mexican people, dark-skinned Latin people. There's dark skin in every race. There's dark-skinned white people. There's some white people walking around here you wouldn't even tell as a white person if it wasn't for their fine features. But for some reason, they were able to take advantage and they really targeted darker skinned black people, which is what they do, because those are the people that's more than likely to hate themselves, hate their life, hate the skin that they're in. And those are the people that are more susceptible to give it all up to them and say, you know what, I don't like myself anyway. So, but that's very ignorant. You shouldn't do that because your family is depending on you loving yourself. You know that self-love is very important. It's very important for your family. It's very important for your children, for you to love yourself and for you to say, you know what, I don't care if I'm cockeyed. I don't care if my head is big, if my head is square, if I'm tall, fat, skinny, or short. You still supposed to love yourself no matter what. Because those are the people that they take advantage of, or the people that don't love themselves. So people that don't love themselves will be like, you know what? I don't even care. I just want you to take whatever you want. Just take all of me because, God put me in this world and he made me this, this, and that. Well, you were God, essentially. That's why I love the tarot. The tarot explains so much, in particular with the Four of Cups. God gave you a body that functions perfectly, but you're looking at your reflection of yourself and you're not liking it. So initially you're not appreciating and loving yourself. So that's kind of the deeper aspect of the Four of Cups. And I've talked about this a lot. The Four of Cups is when you don't appreciate yourself and you don't appreciate others. And you don't appreciate the gifts that God has given you, which is you. So instead, you want to look like somebody else. Okay, I was going to come on here. And you know what? So many people are waking up. There's actually a stripper in Miami. They call her Miss Miami. She went and she looked perfectly fine, perfectly beautiful woman. She went and got butt injections, and they actually just this month showed her on a TV show where she wanted to get it removed and she wanted to change her image and she wanted, to love herself for who she was. And I actually been meaning to talk about that, but then this reptilian chick kind of took over everything and she just wants all the attention and all the, it's just, Lord have mercy. Just sucking it up wherever she can. I think I was live on my other channel, but let me see how long that hangout was. And then as they kept trolling me, I said, damn, I said, I'm tripping. See, that was an example of that mind control. And they love to do it online. Online is one of their biggest things to do, but it's still killing you. It's still taking your energy. They're still sucking you dry. There's this one guy that's associated with this one reptilian. I looked at him. He didn't even look like the same damn person. When he came over here, his whole look, I said, what the hell happened? It was still him, but he looked different. It looked like he had been getting fed on by this person. Yeah, I think I was live for over 3 hours. They love that hangout. I'm going to have to take that one down. I'm going to have to set that one to private, even though they done already fed. By the way, guys, you can also take your energy back from them, too. They hate when you do that. They absolutely hate that. You can take your energy back from them that they took. And believe it or not, you start looking young. A lot of people wonder how I look so young. It's because I always take my energy back. I've been on YouTube doing spiritual work for the past 4 years, and you can see that I haven't really aged. And the reason why is because I always take back my energy. I don't let them keep that. I always light a red candle with the intent to take back all of my energy that they stole. always. So, it's sad, but it's the truth. Um, and really, the only thing you can do with your loved ones is just be patient. That's really the only thing you can do with your loved ones is be patient and say, you know what, you tripping, because what are you doing? This one reptilian that's on here, she was all up in my mama's face. She was all up in my daddy's face. Any friends that I had, she was contacting the family, and literally it was so obvious. Wasn't it obvious? Like so many other people even said that the chick was a reptilian. And I don't believe that she is just under reptilian mind control. I believe that she is an actual reptilian. That's what I believe. So, and a reptilian can't experience no emotion. And it's just like that damn, y'all know how Tommy Sotomayor is always talking about the Terminator and it doesn't have feelings and it doesn't stop. And he talking about the reptilians. He ain't talking about no black woman. So you got to understand what we're dealing with. And we got a lot of people that are extremely ignorant, very, very ignorant to what's going on. They accept everything as some simple explanation, but there is no simple explanation. It is none. Especially when we look around the world, that's just like a guy that I'm dealing with. All of a sudden, like, okay, me and him were arguing and going back and forth, but reptilians love to attack children. Now, he's never done it over here. He's never said anything to my children. If anything, he's been nothing but respectful. But when he's away from me and he's on these YouTube streets, he would talk crazy. And these reptilians got angry at me because I was in a mode of forgiveness. And it's like, what are you talking about? And then they literally try to, because they feed off of every single freaking human emotion known to man. They can't feed off of happiness. That's the one thing that they will not feed upon. They won't. I swear to you, and I'm sitting up here and I'm like, wait a minute, literally, but when you look at the situation and they'll come and they'll say, how can somebody make somebody do something like that? But this person did it with 4 to 5 different people. Now that ain't no coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences. And you could tell that these people were sort of, sorry for what they did. Like when a person is under that kind of mind control, especially if a person has had any kind of abuse in their childhood, then they would be more susceptible. Okay, truth be told, the older that I get and that I got and the smarter that I got was when my family began. So you notice that the more aware you are, that's why somebody was saying that when they fasted, their family would start to act weird. The more aware you are, the worse it gets. But you can kill them with magic. You can get rid of them with magic. You can get rid of their influence with magic. Why do y'all think that divine services is still a reality at all? Why do you think that it's even called divine services? My business name is not Tarot Queen Jamila. My business name is Divine Services. And that is because I have been able to remove a lot of the negative perceptions that they had put out there about me that was not the truth. Now, if it were the truth, I wouldn't have been able to remove that stuff. If it were any kind of truth to what they were talking about. But being that it was not the truth, that's the reason why folks was like, and the gods and the spirits was 100% totally on my side. And spiritualists Like myself and a lot of you other ones, y'all have got to understand what we're dealing with. Okay, it's not just demons and ravens and ghosts. We dealing with some really, really sad creatures out here. I mean, literally, they were trying. It's like, wait a minute. As soon as this person comes around, as soon as certain people come around certain people, all of a sudden they're saying abusive things about children, which was really not about abusing the children. It was about hurting me. Because you know, when you mess with a mother, when you mess with a mother's children, you're hurting her, because I don't let none of that reach my children. Whatever negative energy they send, it's got to go through me first. Now, for some reason, my youngest child, you know, he's very protective over his mother. So, you know, he'll come down here sometimes and he'll be having these weird spiritual experiences, you know, and I'll just have to hold him and hug him. But it's been pretty bad. The demonic and the reptilian mind control attacks have increased to a daily basis. And today, when I got up this morning, I got my house cleaned up. I said, I am not allowing this thing to do that, because that's what they do. And see, you know, that's one of the things that you can tell when your energy is so drained to where you can't even pick up behind yourself and clean up your house. Now, I'm not saying that people that are susceptible to this mind control should not get smarter, because you need to, because you can ruin your life. These people will ruin your life. And, you know, the ones that were targeting me, they thought they were ruining me in some kind of way. It's like, no, honey, I know exactly what's going on. I know exactly what you're going through. I've been dealing with this my entire life. It's all over my family for years. Okay, like white on rice. And my grandmother was in the Eastern Star. Okay, so they have a very, very invested interest in people in my family. My grandmother was also into astrology. So my grandmother was one of the first people to introduce me to my own spirituality. My grandmother didn't take us to church. She taught us a lot of stuff. And the stuff that she taught us was not bad. And my grandmother raised me damn near. Okay. When you see a lot of people doing the crazy stuff that they're doing, it's because they're under mind control. Why are they not able to fight it? They've been trying to mind control me all the time. Like yesterday, it was like, oh my God. I mean, I swear to y'all, they was messing with me all weekend. Just bothering me, trying to mask it as witchcraft. That ain't witchcraft. That's why I told y'all, some of these witches on here ain't no rich. That's just a reptile disguised as a witch. Okay, a witch is a wise woman, a woman that knows. She may have intuition. She may have been born with spiritual gifts. And they don't really want us to have those gifts, because to be honest with you, a lot of witches do have telekinesis. A lot of witches do have telepathy. But see, this is the whole thing. When it comes to reptilians, hell, they at the bottom of the barrel. You know that it's more humans on this earth that have way more spiritual gifts than a damn reptilian? Oh, they got the power to say something mean to somebody, but they don't have the power to change the way they body look, do they? I got this one on here. She claims she's so freaking powerful, but she can't even lose 20 pounds. How you what sense does that make? You can't even change the molecular structure of your body. But you gonna change something for somebody else? My grandmother was a witch too. Her name is Vivian Kelby. I need to start calling her more often. Um, but the vegans would say that my great grandmother was evil because my great grandmother sacrificed chickens. Okay, that's how they used to do it back in the day. But we all sacrifice chicken, especially we all sacrifice animals, especially if you eat meat. And I'm gonna tell you something, all that veganism that came from the reptilians too. Y'all know that, don't you? Anything that loves and cares more about an animal than it does a human being is being afflicted. Okay, because vegans are dying. They've got such poor health. You can tell by looking at them. There's so many people that are trying to get through to them, but they won't listen because they are under the influence. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't do what feels right to your body, because there's some people that can't eat the same diet as I eat. There's some people can't eat what I eat. But if it starts to make you sick and you start deteriorating, come on now. And it usually takes a couple of years for you to start deteriorating on them vegan diets. Oh, she up there fussing. She probably want a bottle. What's up, Maven Mitch? So y'all gotta understand what we dealing with around here. Okay? If you guys need to reach me, if you feel like you have been under reptilian attack, you can actually contact me because I've been dealing with these folks for 4 years now. It's absolutely ridiculous. And there, like I said, there's this one reptilian. She don't want to see, she tries to mimic human emotion. She does it all the time. Oh, I'm sad. She hang up the phone with you and laugh. He fell for it. That ain't no human being. I've been telling people that for the longest. And immediately this person tried to set up an environment to where people wouldn't listen to me. You ever notice years ago, people would say, why would you listen to her? Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Well, why wouldn't people listen to me, but they would listen to you? See what I'm saying? Okay. So we got a lot of work to do because it's time for them to leave. Remember, y'all notice I come on here with my rant sometime and I tell them it's time for them to leave the damn planet. You believe veganism is important for sick people? Uh, I'd say that it depends on what you're sick with. It depends. If you're anemic, going vegan ain't gonna do nothing but make you more anemic. Hey, if you're already anemic, why would you go vegan? That's not gonna make you less anemic. I'm not, you know what? Let me tell y'all something. I'm not gonna get into that because that within itself is such a powerful spell over people. To the point where in 10 years, literally, we gonna have folks trying to execute human beings. Okay, and I'm sorry, but the way that it switched from human rights to animal rights just was not right, because all of a sudden we took the rights from the humans and gave it to the animals, and that wasn't the right thing to do. We already had a problem against us, and then they escalated it with that stuff, is what they did. Now, I don't believe that somebody should go out and hunt a freaking animal. Hold on a minute, because my grandbaby's crying. Hold on. She just fussing, y'all. I gotta go anyway. I'll speak more on this subject a little later. And I'll even point out some of the known reptilians that are on YouTube that are disguising themselves as witches to y'all. I'll even point some of them out to you because they're on here. I have a family member who has cancer. I've been doing some research on healing food. Every holistic doctor I ran across online and offline suggests certain fruits, vegetables, and no meats. Mm. Mhm. Well, Mary, just because it says that it's holistic and just because it says that it's a doctor doesn't mean that it's always telling the truth. So I think that if you do get into veganism, I think that if your body is giving you signs like losing your period and your fertility, I think that you should listen to your body, is what I think. That's all I got to say about that. Because a diet that is based upon eating fruits and vegetables and then taking a B12 shot, that's not a natural human diet. Okay. So I'm sorry. I won't ever allow a vegan to make me feel bad for eating animals and animal products. Sorry. First of all, I cannot eat shellfish because I'm allergic, which means that I have to drink milk, and I'm supposed to drink it every single day. That's right, either cow's milk or goat's milk. There's certain nutrients that I can't get from certain meats that I have to get from milk. So if I were not to drink milk, I would get very sick. But there's a lot of people that have allergies to milk. Hey, there's some people, if they drink a cup of milk, they're gonna be farting all day and night or having diarrhea. I don't have that problem. I can eat milk, cheese. I'm actually um I am carnivorous, but I'm also an herbivore. I can eat a lot of vegetables. Okay. I think that you need to kill them off of your bloodline, is what I think. I think that reptilians need to detach from our bloodlines, is what I think. That's what I've been talking about. Because I mean, I'm telling y'all, boy, anything where they can get your essence, any place where they can get your essence, they just want to talk to somebody that you done talk to. They just want to be around somebody that you done talk to. That is not a normal human being. I've seen a reptilian do that. That's not how normal humans act. Somebody that just chases you around and they just want to be around somebody that you around. That's not, y'all realize that that's not how a normal human acts. Y'all realize that, don't you? And I've been saying that for the longest, and for some reason, this person still tries to mask itself as being human. It's weird. How long have they been on the earth? That would be a question for the cards. Spirit guides, ancestors, guardian angels, ascended masters. How long have reptilians been on the earth? They've been here for a while, is what spirits is saying to me. But it was during the millennium, something about the millennium is what Spirit is telling me. Something about the year 2000 is when they began to really, really crack down, because they see they don't have a lot of time on this earth. Why you think it's so many people that don't even want to let their kids go outside? Because they know that these people will snatch your kids up. Mm, I didn't get it. I would say they've been watching us since the beginning. But they only recently just started to carry out their agenda in the last 30 or 40 years. Maybe the last 300 years is what I got. Yeah. They're leaving though, guys, just to let you know they're leaving. A lot of people you would not believe. There's going to be people that are here now and they're going to be gone tomorrow. Y'all think I'm joking? Because when they can't feed anymore, then that's going to be a problem for them. It's been a problem. And it's only slowly been unwinding for them. They don't have a future on this planet and they know it. They know it. Are all reptilians bad? Yep, they are. All of them are bad. Sorry. I believe all of them are bad. Anytime you come down here with an agenda, and even if some of the reptilians know about it, but they don't say anything, it still means that they are committing a crime against humanity. Because that's just like if you're in a group of people. Let's take racism. Let me give you an analogy. Let's say racism. Let's say that you're in a group of people and these people are purple. And then you got another group of people and these people are orange. And the people that are orange are exacting out some sort of agenda against the people that are purple. But then you've got some orange people that are not bad, but they don't say anything. They don't do anything. So for you to allow this to happen, and some of them may even be helpful, but more than likely they're going to help people of their own alien race. They're not going to help the people of the human race. They're not. They're going to help them carry out their agenda. Okay, that's what they're going to do. They mimic human mannerisms. But there are certain things that you can tell. The main one that I've found is that they lack emotion. They lack emotion. They laugh at people that have emotions. Okay. All right, let me see here. From what I can see, if questions, they respond to only which they choose to respond or not at all. They are expert manipulators. They are highly sexual, and sex is one of the easiest ways to harvest the human energy field. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Human beings are actually highly sexual too. I'm horny all the time. Does that make me a reptilian? Nope. You know what I'm saying? So, the main thing that I can tell you is they're going to lack human emotion. Is the main thing that they're going to lack. They're not going to understand. They're going to have certain cutthroat views of the world. These are usually the ones that are running around here saying, oh, the world is overpopulated. Okay, and it may not necessarily be that that's a reptilian, but it's somebody that is afflicted or possessed by a reptilian. Okay, I just went into that, JS, that I've been getting stalked by a reptilian for the past 4 to 5 years, probably longer than that. I've been getting stalked by one. She shows up wherever I'm at. If you know me, she wants to know you. She just wants to touch you or breathe the same air. You know, if I spilled some ketchup on your shirt, or if you came to my house and spilled some ketchup on your shirt at my house, she's probably gonna lick it off because she just wants something of my essence. Stalkers, more than likely they may be stalkers. And I'm not talking about just harmless stalking that you do when you are curious about your ex. You may go to their page in social media, or you may want to look at a picture of them because you miss them. No, they're stalking you because they're trying to find a way in constantly. Okay. But yeah, I've been in contact with a lot of reptilians. And, you know, I've even noticed, and I was explaining to my kids, and I tried to explain this very, very clearly to the children, that there was some mind control that was going on with the kids. So they are very into mind control, very much so. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I've got to go. I'm going to wrap this up. Like I said, if you guys need to reach me, I know exactly how to deal with them. And no, we are not just powerless to them, is what I wanted to tell you. We're not. We're not just powerless to them. You can get them out of your life for good. Okay. And because what they've done is they've replaced most humans in your life. Like, they want you to have some kind of connection with them somehow. And they think that your life is their life. They think that they have rights over you, and they don't. Okay, so if you guys need to reach me, the link to my website is below. I will speak more on this subject a little bit later, because every single day they're bothering me. They bother me every day. Remember, I told y'all that sometimes when I'm trying to do my readings, they'll start doing certain stuff. And today I did a lot of mind control clearing, is what I was doing today. A lot of targeted individual clearing, frequencies that will throw off their frequency so that they can't tap in. Okay, is one of the main things that you want to start doing. And it's very real. It ain't no joke. And please believe that these people will take over your life. They'll try to change and alter your DNA. They'll try to make your whole life miserable. Every single day they want you to be miserable. And y'all know that I am a very happy person. I'm actually always happy. Always. That's why one of them came by here and stole the license plate off of my car, among other reasons. But they wasn't even able to feed off of that, because as soon as I realized that, I started calling to my spirits. Okay. I'll see y'all later. Love and light.